All right, everybody, another Schmolke Investment Team LSU football practice report. Tuesday morning practice today. We got basically, I'd say, about 45 minutes to an hour of viewing, but we weren't allowed to film anything or shoot any photos. Brian Kelly afterwards had a lot to say, some Markway news, some Braden Swinson, Jalen Lee news. The reason why we haven't seen them out there, they need Spanish 4. We'll be back out here on Monday. But what's good is what something Buddy was talking about this morning, was that they're practicing in the afternoon, so that way once they're done with their courses, they can come right out and join the team in full pads. They don't have to do the NCAA mandated multiple days in shells and shorts. So what do you think, Buddy?
Happy Tuesday, everybody. Happy Tuesday to Mike Scarborough, publisher at TigerBait.com. I went through the site yesterday. You cannot beat it, folks. Player interviews, practice reports, and incredible footage, and some real learning from all of us with the media today. As we saw, yesterday we saw the matchups, the wide receivers catching balls in front of the DBs. Today we saw the grunt work. We saw the big uglies going after each other. And I got to tell you, folks, that defensive line under the tutelage of Bo Davis is coming over the top. A lot of guys, Jacoby and Gilroy and Gio Paez right now, the two starters. But Sean Washington has improved a bunch. Dominic McKinley, Mike, we talked about it with you, me, and Zach, needing to drop some weight. He was a beast trying to get after the quarterback today. Suggs is the real deal, number 31. And Emory Jones, he won't get this lived down. I guarantee you, when they're eating right now, they're saying, can you believe Savion Jones beat Emory Jones today on a one-on-one? That was a highlight for 35.
Yeah, and one of the highlights was, as soon as we walked in the door, was another Emory, John Emory, breaking a long one. What was it? An inside handoff, took it the distance, and they were going berserk as soon as they let the media in. We caught that play when we walked down there. I saw some really nice defensive plays from Ashton Stamps. Good to see Zy Alexander out there moving around. I don't know whether he's 80%, 90%, 75%, but he's certainly nowhere near 100. PJ Woodland again with some nice flashes defensively. I think Ricky Collins threw some nice balls, but then there were some ones that had a, I wasn't charting PBUs today, but there was a nice share of PBUs. Chris Hilton continues to look very good as well. And let me see in some of my other notes. Again, folks, please hit that like button if you're enjoying these practice reports. You guys have been helping us with that. We hit 31,000 subscribers on the YouTube channel yesterday, like I predicted. And thanks to each and every one of you for going ahead and subscribing there. The Zachary guys, Tradez Green, Chris Hilton, really looking good today. And Stamps had a pass breakup that should have been an interception on Ricky Collins when I had a nice angle where I could see where they were on the opposite field. Most of the media couldn't see him. And let's see what I have here. Oh, Kyron Lacey, either they stripped him or he dropped a ball on a slant. So probably some of that aggravating stuff that BK was talking about. But he's trying to increase the heat. He talked about that, progressively getting the team acclimated to the heat a little bit more each day. And I kind of like what he's saying, but I tend to wonder with the way college football sports are going and mimicking the NFL and all the money's being thrown around, if we're not years away or maybe sooner than we think, where teams like LSU in the South maybe go north for a couple of weeks of training camp. I can absolutely see that being something that at least gets discussed at some time in the future.
All right, Amanda, spicy tidbit of the day is that Mac Markway, the sophomore tight end from St. Louis, Missouri, number 84, has left the program. We did not get verification if he is done, if he's in the transfer portal, if there's a chance for him to come back. Obviously, Mike, you and I were talking before the report, LSU is going to use the tight ends a lot more via the pass. I was raving about 14 and 88. Of course, Tradez Green and Pimpton next to each other. Maybe Markway wanted more balls, but that's a second blocking tight end, so I'm not sure what you're going to do on short yardage when you need that second tight end as a blocker. Not sure who you're going to put in there, but the tight ends, once again, now a little bit thin. Markway's a very valuable player. I'm surprised he left. He was so excited to catch his first touchdown pass in Tiger Stadium at the back end of the year. By the way, yesterday we got questions after the report about Whit Weeks. I wanted to ask a question about linebackers, but went to special teams. We'll find out about linebackers tomorrow. But right now, Harold Perkins, Greg Penn III are your two starting backers. Wes and Whit Weeks are your backups, and there are a boatload of freshmen. Kalaj Cobbins, they've got him at DN number 48, but Devon Keys 42, Tylen Singleton 46. Linebacker is not going to be a problem. If you get that defensive line now starting to have a little push, we're still going to wait to see if they can get the corners. He wasn't ready to say the corners are all good yet, but it's a work in progress. Thought it was a very good, positive day for the defense today.
Absolutely. I just saw a little words go across the screen. I hope it's not telling us that the phone's starting to heat. We had that happen one time last year, and there it is again. Hopefully that's not the case. But Schmolke Investment Team puts these out there. What is something you could do with your money that would be meaningful to you? Do you feel like you need some guidance to realize those goals? At the Schmolke Investment Team, they have over 50 years experience doing just that. If you want to get serious about reaching your financial potential, give them a call at 318-448-3201. That's 318-448-3201. Security and advisory services offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor, member FINRA/SIPC. Nobody does it better than Barton Bryant Schmolke, Versailles Boulevard in Alexandria, and you need them now more than ever. Great people. I've been knowing that family for well over 20 years. And the Schmolke Investment Team, thanks to them for, again, sponsoring our reports like they do every fall and spring.
And they're loving life and living large, because after a ton of loss yesterday with the market, it is big time green. So Bart and his son are continuing to make sure that you stay in communication and know what's going on. Everybody's saying this was a correction, so sit tight, listen to Bart and his son. They do a fantastic job.
I think they're probably saying sit tight, don't panic, unplug from it, and don't watch it. That's probably sound advice.
Hey, look, when I asked Coach Kelly about special teams, I really was asking about the personnel, and he kind of went into all of the coaches that are going to be involved. This is good. Just like there's running back by committee, you're going to have coaches by committee with special teams. Everybody is going to have a part, like 7 coaches. And as we know, I still think Blake Oxendorf is going to win the punter. The reason I keep stressing that, folks, is that LSU didn't give up any yardage last year with punts, but they also were the holder on kicks. We know that. And then punt return, Xavier Thomas has been nursing a hammy, just what we said. Kelly and the rest of the coaches are smart enough. When you have a little hammy like that, you get off of it, you rest it until it comes back. You don't want that thing festering from now until the first game. So they're going to be appreciably better in punt return. Whether or not they salvage whatever they want out of punting, that's going to be a tough sled to hoe with Jay Bramblett and the job he did last year. But all a work in progress, and I think that I saw some physicality from the defense that I didn't see the first 2 or 3 practices.
Yeah, I really, again, I know I sound like a broken record. There's a lot of things we repeat, but I really like the intensity, the sense of urgency that we see out of each group out here. Brad Davis yesterday was getting after him. Bo Davis today. It's something else. So, and so far, knock on wood, other than some little bitty things that, some tweaks on ankles and hamstrings, nothing catastrophic, which is great, which particularly at some positions they can ill afford anything, but especially the defensive line. I like where that group is going. Are they going to have the right combination and ways to get that spot, get the job done adequately with rotating some of those guys that Buddy just talked about?
Yeah, Coach was asked a little bit about Joe Sloan. Jacques asked him about Joe Sloan, and look, this is going to be a game plan.
He was walking out with me earlier.
Once again by committee. He's got to be as excited as a pig in slop. Look, Kyle Parker had a ball today, dropped right in his breadbasket, but they are completing some passes. But let's talk reality of Nuss. When you go to Vegas, you come to Tiger Stadium, you watch LSU, if you're a Catholic, bring a pair of your rosary beads, because you got to have them on you. If Nuss gets hurt, then like one of our responders said yesterday after the report, LSU's in a world of trouble. Ricky Collins hasn't played at all. A.J. Swan has lost 17 pounds but played at Vandy, and let's be honest, that's a long step from being the Vandy quarterback to being in that big puppy right behind us. that's worth $100,000. And then, of course, Colin Hurley is still 17 and learning. So got to keep us happy. I think they're going to go plenty big with the short game in space, tight ends, backs out the backfield. And, oh, by the way, some of the guys that might play as true freshmen, love you some number 19, Relaford. Love you some Jawan Johnson. He's going to be in that star position behind Major Burns. And obviously, love you some Caden Durham. I like this running back. I think he's in the mix. I was looking at him
yeah, me too.
Close today. And, folks, he is cut. He reminds me of a Dalton Hilliard type. Maybe not the super big thighs like Dalton had, but you can tell that is a finely tuned athlete. He's going to take one to the house more than one time this year, folks.
You know, his body, to me, he looks almost like a bigger Michael Ford.
Yeah.
I just looking at this build, but man, he's compact and put together, and of course he can do it all. So,
and by the way, not to interrupt you, but hey, we saw Caleb Jackson, and you know how you have a bully on the end of the block, and you say, "Mama, I don't want to go down there. That bully might run me over." Nobody wanted to fool with Caleb Jackson. Caleb Jackson once again left his calling card. Poor P.J. Woodland at 165 versus Caleb at 235. He don't want any part of that young man. So don't sleep on Caleb Jackson, John Emery, Josh Williams. LSU plenty good at running back, plenty good on offense. Those questions, special teams, and still working on corners, still working on developing depth at D-tackle. And Sean Washington did get a butt chewing from Bo Davis, but just like Weston Davis, he's trying to bring out the best of that young man.
All right, everybody, I want to get out of here before this phone shuts us off. The heat is hitting the back of it and warming up. If you enjoyed the practice report, hit the like button. Live show tomorrow night, 8 o'clock. Also, tune in a Buddy's show on the app. Tell them how to get it, buddy, so they can.
Yeah, just go to Mike's app at Pelican Sports Radio. Download Pelican Broadcasting. We'll be live starting 1 to 3 in a little bit. Have BK, have players, and have guests, and going to be a lot of fun. Going to be an exciting season. Appreciate everybody being on the ride with us.
Absolutely. And Brian Kelly's video is already up right here on this YouTube channel. And again, like Buddy said, we loaded up yesterday, and we've got a lot coming throughout the week. We get both coordinators and much more. We'll be back out with more video. I hope you guys have been enjoying that. We've been filming it in 4K, 60 frames per second. And I looked at it on a 72-inch screen yesterday, and it looks fantastic. So, all right, everybody, thanks for tuning in. Hit that like button again. Go to tigerbait.com and subscribe. $1 if you're not already a subscriber. Send out a text alert today. Of course, I mentioned Mac Markway. Left the program. Not sure when he's going to hit the portal, what his future is, but no longer with the football team, according to Brian Kelly. And so we sent that text alert out to our subscribers immediately. That's kind of stuff you get on tigerbait.com. Got another newsletter coming out in a couple of days. So, all right, everybody. See you on the other side. Y'all have a great week.
See you tomorrow, everybody.
All right.